Business owners, executives, and entrepreneurs, get your pen and paper ready and tune in Sundays at 1 p.m. for Evolution Strategies, Business Sustainability and Growth Simplified. You must evolve to meet the challenges of today's marketplace. This is the only show in the Philly metro area that walks you step by step through success factors that make or break your brand. Want some free advice? Call in Sundays at 1 p.m. to talk to your host, Carolyn Lighty, and a panel of experts for Evolution Strategies, Business Sustainability and Growth Simplified.
Good afternoon and welcome to this edition of Evolution Strategies. I'm your host, Carolyn Lighty. Today we're talking to two entrepreneurs I met at the weekly 1 Million Cups event. It takes place at the Dell Tech Wilmington campus. 1 Million Cups, for those of you who don't recognize it or understand what it is, it's a simple way to engage entrepreneurs and communities around the world. Each week, the 1 Million Cups program offers two local entrepreneurs an opportunity to present their startups to a diverse audience of mentors, advisors, and entrepreneurs. Presenters prepare a 6-minute educational presentation and engage in 20 minutes of feedback and questioning after they make their presentation. Entrepreneurs gain insight into the possible ways they can improve their business, gather real-time feedback, and connect with a community that truly cares about their progress. So I invite everyone that's listening to participate in these events. They take place every Wednesday at the Dell Tech campus in downtown Wilmington. I think there are summer hours. I think they start at 8:30, from 8:30 to 9:30 during the summer. And if you want more information about 1 Million Cups, you can go to www.millioncups.com and then click on the Wilmington event under the event tab. Now to our guests. We're going to spotlight today's show with two different segments. We're talking to two entrepreneurs, two startups, or well, maybe, I'm not sure, maybe one of them has been around a little bit longer, but either way, they're still considered startups. The first one is going to be a crowdfunding business that's called eHarambe, and its CEO is David Amakobe.
Yes.
Amakobe?
David Amakobe.
There we go. Very good. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And welcome to the show, David.
Thank you very much.
You don't mind if I call you by your first name because I'll mess up your last name.
You got it right, but the first name is good. David's good.
That's good. Also, we're going to have two segments, and joining us later in the show, even though I'd like him to say good afternoon, is Bashir. He's with Morgan Cosmetics.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'm so glad you guys could be with us. And we also have his wife, his lovely wife here, who is off mic right now, but she's going to do a lot of talking, she promises me, when it's their segment. Her name is Fatima. So, David.
Yes.
What brings you to Delaware with this wonderful product? You have two companies, don't you?
I basically have got one company, African Wood Incorporated. Okay. And we have two businesses on there. One Afrowood Brands America, which places takes small businesses which have products and they want to put them on the market. We started off by getting businesses that have import products from Africa and trying to put them on the market in the US.
In the United States, okay.
And from there, from working with those businesses, we found out that one of the challenges they had was that they were not being able to meet people with capital that they could use to expand their business. So we looked around and found that crowdfunding would be a good way for them to meet people with the resources that could help them or meet their market demands. So for that matter, we started eHarambe, and Harambe is a Swahili word for pulling together.
Swahili for pulling together.
Yeah. Okay. So we said the E is electronic Harambe. So basically, pulling resources together for the common good. Meaning, if a client has a product, say from Africa, like Morgan Cosmetics, he has argan oil, and he wants to put it on the market in the US. But most of the time, marketing, as you know, entrepreneurship is most of the time 25% innovation or a good product or good service, and 75% marketing. But they need the resources to put it out there on the market. Yeah. So to be able to help our clients get the resources to put their products on the market, we started Harambe to make sure that they can be able to get the resources. And since the crowdfunding act was passed, the Job Funding Act was passed, to be able to put to help small emerging companies to fundraise,
raise
funds. Although the regulations have not been really passed, but it looks like it will be companies that are based in the U.S. or persons that are U.S. based that will be allowed to be able to raise funds on
these different sources.
So that has made us be able to expand to make sure that we can be able to either when we get the clients, if they are not organized, like for Morgan is already organized as a company, but some clients come to us and they have a good idea, a good product, but they are individuals, or maybe they are companies that are based overseas. So what eHarambe does, African Wood through eHarambe does, is to help them set up locally, like incorporate locally, and then list their product, list their company on eHarambe. So because most of the time, people with resources are more likely to deal with organized entities than individuals.
That's correct.
So African Wood through eHarambe provides the platform to be able to list. But to be able to list, you need to be organized. So we obviously...
You help them with getting organized.
Getting organized.
And does that include becoming an American company, incorporating in, say, Delaware, since that's where you're based out of?
Yes. We are lucky because we're based in Delaware, and Delaware is most of the leading incorporation center in the world. So we actually, help them, and we encourage them to incorporate in Delaware. One thing about incorporation in Delaware is that you can incorporate as a C corporation, you can incorporate as an S corporation, or you can incorporate as a public benefit corporation. Meaning, if you are doing good, suppose you are like planting trees, but you want to benefit from it and you want to be able to control, it's better. Public benefit corporation is better than an NGO, because in an NGO, basically, starting something is the difficult part. But after you start an NGO, when the people who come after you, if they decide that they want to get rid of you, you have no control over it.
Right.
But if
so
it's
explain to the listening audience, NGO is
and I wouldn't, if somebody has an idea and he wants to go to set up.
What does NGO stand for?
Non-government organization.
Okay, there you go. I just wanted you to say
yes,
that.
non-government. So if you are establishing as a public benefit corporation, then you have control over your idea continuously with the people who sponsor you or who come in. Then that's how African Wood helps through eHarambe to organize. You decide through your lawyers or through your own. You decide which entity you want. Then you list it on eHarambe, and we market, like we are here talking to you, Carolyn, because we want the word out there that eHarambe is there for crowdfunding. Most likely, we want to go towards the business side, but if somebody has a social or a cultural event that they want to list, we also encourage them to come on, because if somebody lists something cultural, next time they think about a business, they'll be there.
Yes.
So we haven't shut the door to cultural events or social events, but to our long term is to make sure that to concentrate on the business side, on the small businesses who would have been shut out because maybe they don't meet the investment grade of the law that was there before the Jobs Act was formed, was created. Although they haven't made the rules completely clear, but what we understand is that they will require that it be the investors and the entities should be locally or American registered. So that's why we have that ability to be able to help them organize locally. So that's what eHarambe is all about.
So if I were and I'm listening to there's a lot of things in what you just said that I can pull from here. So first of all, there is no limitation on the type of project or idea or business that can be funded through eHarambe. Some of the others like Kickstarter, I mean, if you look at the top 10, you have major companies like Kickstarter, Indiegogo, Crowdfunder, and a whole host of others that I took a look at as I was preparing for the show. A lot of them have specifics in terms of the types of projects you can fund. Like Kickstarter is mostly for the creative class. And so there, if you have a creative project, then that's where you would want to publicize that. In doing so, though, there's a process that you have to go through on any of these sites in terms of being eligible and allowed to post. What does your criteria look like when someone comes and wants to post?
Basically, first of all, our criteria is that if you have, we like business. We want you to be a startup business, or whether you are an individual or a company, or you have not you're an individual but you want to organize. That's our concentration. But in the process of it being a business, we know that people have lives. And when they have lives, they may have a cultural thing like I will say this because Iharambe we started because first of all I'm Kenyan. I was born in Kenya. And the Harambes most likely they do are the biggest events are weddings. And funerals. Yes, those are the biggest events. The biggest events they really come out to do Harambe for, and in their life, when they are in their life, weddings very important, funerals or misfortunes are very important, and they raise money a lot. That's more like a hook to Harambe because it's something they understand. It's something they know. Yeah, it's like cultural insurance. It's like, okay, our core clients or startup clients are those Kenyan and African diaspora.
That's what I was going to ask you. Since that would be an easy transition for them to understand.
Yes, to understand.
So you're targeting mostly Kenyan in America, or
yes, in America.
Okay.
In America, Kenyan diaspora, African diaspora, because they understand that they understand the social element. When they understand the social element, and they come and put it on, then we tell them, you know what? Even in the business, you can do this. You always have to have a hook. When you have a target clientele, you must understand it. Even when they come to do business, we always tell them that if you don't, you can't be able to define your customer and know exactly what you're targeting, know where they start from, then you cannot be successful in business. So basically, yes, our target market, our initial target market are those African diaspora living in the United States. That's why we are the only platform that supports both the US dollar and Kenya shilling.
I see.
So that is for the social cultural element, because if they are doing a fundraiser, if there is a misfortune here, most of the time the misfortune is touching somebody else in Kenya.
I see.
So when they do a fundraiser or a crowdfund, the people in Africa also want to participate. So we provide.
So this is a platform for them
to participate, both of them, and then from there we will grow so that they can do a business on there. And if it's business now, because the law binds that if you are raising money for business and you are selling shares in your company, then you must be American based. But if it's a social event, cultural, everybody's allowed to participate.
Okay.
So to be able to gather the initial critical mass, we are going for the cultural event because of that. And then when it is now business, we tell them, you know what, you need to organize in the US. After you organize in the US, and you must be a US entity to contribute or a US entity to participate. That's how far we're going.
So then my question then goes to, if the initial target audience is those folks here in the United States that are from the African diaspora, whichever country they happen to come from, how are you marketing to them, and what is your universe? How many targets do you have out there? Have you been able to do the research to determine, whether it be Kenyan or I don't name some other country, from Dakar or wherever they're from? How are you reaching those folks to tell them about this? Because if this is a concept, Harambe, that goes through all cultures in Africa. Does everyone know Harambe? Is that how most of these things happen? Okay, so then how do you reach these folks?
We do that like a few days ago. We had function by the Rockefeller Foundation, Rockefeller and Aspen Foundation, targeting specifically Kenyan diaspora.
Okay.
And from the few numbers, they said that their numbers really tallied. There are numbers that the Kenyan diaspora have about 100,000 people live in the US.
Okay.
And out of those, about 44% have an income of over $90,000.
Okay, I believe that.
And then about 46% of them have a degree or above. And they just need to be able to be organized to be able to put these resources together so that they can be able. Right now, they send money back in Kenya, or they doing these things individually. But through ERM, as we talk to them, like the Rockefeller Foundation, the Aspen Foundation is trying to do, as you organize them.
What is that organization again? The
Rockefeller, Aspen.
ASPEN?
Yeah, Aspen, what do you call of foundations. They are doing a program for diasporans.
Okay. And
they did the figures, and they found out that because of the way the diaspora is structured, we have enough critical mass to be able to get a platform to help them invest their money in a unified manner, so that they can have an impression.
That's good.
Because doing even if you are earning $140,000 a year and you're doing investment alone, it doesn't help. But if you put the money together, if you get, like they said, 13% of those people get over $140,000 a year. If you can organize them and they get comfortable that this is a good entity that can be able to put the money together, then that can do have a bigger impact on their lives, on the lives of the country they have picked to reside in, and the country that they
still have close ties with. Very interesting. Very interesting concept. Very targeted, in terms of the niche that you're fulfilling with your crowdfunding source. And we're going to talk more about that when we come back from our break. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back after commercial.
Welcome to Wilmington, Delaware. At Preservation Initiatives, we bring beautiful lofts to you. The recently renovated lofts at 400 Market Street are a must-see. A part of Registered National Historic District. Featuring spacious floor plans, custom glass windows, solid surface countertops, stainless steel appliances, custom lighting, wood flooring, large closets, pocket doors, sunny interiors, high ceilings plus beautifully detailed trim molding. Enjoy the sights, sounds, and tastes of Market Street. Just a short walk from the Wilmington riverfront, featuring family-friendly places to enjoy, with plenty of restaurants, entertainment, and other small-town conveniences. Wilmington, Delaware. In the middle of it all. Reserve today. Preservation Initiatives. Urban revitalization through historic preservation.
Preservation Initiatives is a wonderful, wonderful gem that we have here in the city of Wilmington. Don McGinley, its founder, has been developing historic properties since 1979. He's had properties in Boston, Miami, Philly, and now Wilmington. If you want to contact Preservation Initiatives in reference to any of the residential or commercial properties, please call them at 302-543-7565. That's 302-543-7565.
You can't. Do those magic words motivate you? Has anyone ever told you that you can't? You can't be an entrepreneur. You can't be a business owner. You don't have what it takes. How many successful businesses started without incorporating? I'm John Williams, the president of Inc. Now. For 39 years, Inc. Now has been incorporating first-time entrepreneurs just like you. Over 15,000 companies, from mom and pop businesses to worldwide enterprises. IncNow.com, based in Delaware, can have you incorporated in only a few minutes for $298. Inc. Now makes starting your LLC easy. Learn more about what Inc. Now can do for you. On the web, visit incnow.com. That's incnow.com. What do you have to lose? If you think you can't be an entrepreneur, then don't. I'm here to tell you, you can. Plant a seed. Inc. Now. Dreamers Wanted.
Business owners, executives, and entrepreneurs, get your pen and paper ready and tune in Sundays at 1 p.m. for Evolution Strategies, Business Sustainability and Growth Simplified. You must evolve to meet the challenges of today's marketplace. This is the only show in the Philly metro area that walks you step by step through success factors that make or break your brand. Want some free advice? Call in Sundays at 1 p.m. to talk to your host, Carolyn Lighty, and a panel of experts for Evolution Strategies, Business Sustainability and Growth Simplified.
Good afternoon and welcome back to the show. We're sitting here having a delightful discussion with David Amakobe from Iharambe, which is a new crowdfunding business that helps users promote and receive support from relatives, friends, and the community at large. And we're just kind of getting into the nitty-gritty about how that works, and why the product or the platform was founded, and the special niche in helping Kenyans who are here in the United States to support each other's causes and businesses and to hopefully grow that community to the extent that it continues to give back to its own, right?
Yes.
Sounds great. So one of the things I wanted to ask about was, in marketing, let's do this first. Let's see, if I come to your site and I want to post a project, what is the steps? Walk me through the process.
When you come to iharambe.com and you want to post a project, first of all, we'll require that you register, because there is a tendency online of people not being serious if you are not known. You have to ID yourself, you have to register yourself, but we make it easy, because you can sign on using LinkedIn, Facebook, PayPal, or other social media. Because Facebook, if you sign on with Facebook, that's good, because already you have your Facebook followers.
Right.
If you sign on with using PayPal, it's secure. So you although we don't get your details, the first social media don't give us all your personal details, but they help ID you.
Right. So you're dealing with a real person.
A real person. And then after you register or log on using your social media, there is you go to start a campaign. When you go to start a campaign, it will ask for there's a form. There's just a small form there you fill. You give a description of your project, what you want to do, or what you want to raise money for. You select a category of what category, if it's a social, cultural, or if it's a business. And
are there specific types of businesses, or does it matter? Or does it say, in terms of that, it's probably a drop-down box?
Yes.
So the category is either social,
business, a startup, or a growth business, or something.
Okay.
And then you give a description of the product, the service, the project, and why you need the money. Basically, makes you think through the process. It's you are telling people that you are looking to raise money for something, and this is your only time you have to convince them, to capture them. So you have to tell your story. After you tell your story, and people are visual, they need pictures. You need to put a picture. If you have a video telling your story, that's good. You have a place to put your video, a short video. Just people have a short attention span. If you put a 30 minutes video, most likely the people will not listen. So you need like a 3-minute video that tells your story very fast to catch their attention. And then you in your story you say how much money you intend to raise. There is a place which says your target, also your target, and then you have right now you have a chance to say what is the person who is going to help you raise money going to get in this?
Exactly, that's what I was waiting for. So what do they get?
What do they get? For the social events, most of the time you decide a gift. If you decide a gift to give, because the law hasn't passed to enable people to sell shares online,
Okay.
we do not recommend that you do sell shares on there, because it's not, you can sell your product, you can give, or you can decide that like Morgan, they can come there and say, if you give us $50, we shall send you a gift of argan oil.
Right.
It may not be the value of the of what you give, but it's a token to help out. So you would say, if you give us $100, we'll give you one bottle of argan oil. If you give us 200, we'll give you something else
to go with
something
it.
like so. After you do that, and then you just submit. And if you, depending on the grading or how you signed in, if you signed in filling a form, it will send you to review, meaning we need to look at it to make sure that before we let it go. If you passed using PayPal, it will go straight, because PayPal are our processors, and also because there's self-regulation in the industry. The company that processes the payment is basically
they're checking out.
They're checking companies.
I got you.
So like eHarambe, we use parallel payment by PayPal. Meaning parallel payment means, if when you list a product or a service and you are raising money, and somebody decides that they are going to raise money for you, when they decide there are fees associated with this. How eHarambe handles this is that we think that if you are raising money, then you need money. So if somebody decides that they are going to give you $25 or $100, you should get $100. But the fees is put on the donor, meaning there is a fee for processing the payment, which PayPal takes.
So if I wanted to make a donation to whatever company is on eHarambe, then I'm going to pay 5% addition on top of the $100.
Yes.
Or whatever that percentage is.
Yeah, the percentage is.
Okay.
So that's
and that's made clear in all of your.
It's very clear. The fees for the platform, almost all the platforms, all the crowdfunding platforms charge 5%. We charge 4%. But
and that's 4% to the person who has the project, or the person who's donating?
The person who is donating.
Okay, go ahead.
The person who's donating. And then the processing, the payment processor, PayPal charges 3.9%.
Okay.
So that is also added. So basically, the person who is donating will pay plus the 7.9%.
Okay.
So that parallel payments, what parallel payment does is it takes the payment, say the $100 to the project, the $3 to $3.9 to PayPal, and the $4 to eHarambe. So eHarambe, the fiduciary responsibility for the money is actually to PayPal. So eHarambe doesn't have fiduciary. We just collect our fee, and we are not connected with the money that comes in. And it's up to the processor, PayPal in this particular case, ensures that we never have money that belongs to our clients.
I got you. So what if they don't go through PayPal? Now, this, no matter how they donate, it's always going through PayPal then. So is that's
yes,
even if they don't register through PayPal,
yes,
the money is still going through PayPal when the donations. Okay, I got
but we give credence to people who register through PayPal because they are already PayPal.
Yes,
but if somebody came and registered on our website, then we want to make sure that they are okay, because there is also restrictions on how much money you can contribute per time. You can only list 4 projects per year, and you can only contribute 4 times per project. And
the amount is
the amount is capped for every time you contribute. You can only contribute up to 1,999.
Okay.
So that means for one project, one entity, one person can only be able to contribute under 10,000. So it's a way of making sure that, first of all, the contributors are various. It's not only one person coming on to contribute the money, and also that the project sponsor has. We need we need them to raise money from their family, from their friends, and from their supporters. We don't need the situation where somebody who they really don't know, out of the blue, puts a lot of money in there and then puts a lot on them. So that's
okay. Interesting. So how can folks get in touch with you to get involved with Iharambe, or even to find out more about your other products?
Okay. Iharambe, www.iharambe.com is
You're going to have to spell it out.
Okay. www.iharambe.com or harambe.co, that is harambe.co, and they can also write us an email at CEO, like CEO at afriwood.com. AFRWOOD.com.
All right, let me repeat that for you. So if anybody out there is interested in finding out more about Iharambe, you can go to www.iharambe.com. That's iharambe.com. Or you can go to harambe.co. So that's harambe.co. If you'd like to email David, you can email him at CEO@afriwood, AFRWOOD.com. Well, this has been very interesting. I'm going to probably transition now so we can bring into the conversation our guests from Morgan Cosmetics. And if we can, we'll go to break while we make that transition. Thank you so much, David, for being on the show. Is there a telephone number that you'd like them to call you?
Yeah, my telephone number is 302-252-7279.
302-252-7279.
And we're based at 1241 North Orange Street, Wilmington, Delaware, 90101.
Very cool. Very good. And thank you so much for being on the show, and we wish you only the best.
Thank you very much for having me.
Welcome to Wilmington, Delaware. At Preservation Initiatives, we bring beautiful lofts to you. The recently renovated lofts at 400 Market Street are a must-see, a part of registered National Historic District. Featuring spacious floor plans, custom glass windows, solid surface countertops, stainless steel appliances, custom lighting, wood flooring, large closets, pocket doors, sunny interiors, high ceilings plus beautifully detailed trim molding. Enjoy the sights, sounds, and tastes of Market Street. Just a short walk from the Wilmington riverfront, featuring family-friendly places to enjoy, with plenty of restaurants, entertainment, and other small-town conveniences. Wilmington, Delaware, in the middle of it all. Reserve today. Preservation Initiatives. Urban revitalization through historic preservation.
Preservation Initiatives is a wonderful, wonderful gem that we have here in the city of Wilmington. Don McGinley, its founder, has been developing historic properties since 1979. He's had properties in Boston, Miami, Philly, and now Wilmington. If you want to contact Preservation Initiatives in reference to any of the residential or commercial properties, please call them at 302-543-7565. That's 302-543-7565.
You can't. Do those magic words motivate you? Has anyone ever told you that you can't? You can't be an entrepreneur. You can't be a business owner. You don't have what it takes. How many successful businesses started without incorporating? I'm John Williams, the president of Inc. Now. For 39 years, Inc. Now has been incorporating first-time entrepreneurs just like you. Over 15,000 companies, from mom-and-pop businesses to worldwide enterprises. IncNow.com, based in Delaware, can have you incorporated in only a few minutes for $298. Inc. Now makes starting your LLC easy. Learn more about what Inc. Now can do for you. On the web, visit incnow.com. That's incnow.com. What do you have to lose? If you think you can't be an entrepreneur, then don't. I'm here to tell you, you can. Plant a seed. Ink now. Dreamers wanted.
Business owners, executives, and entrepreneurs, get your pen and paper ready and tune in Sundays at 1 p.m. for Evolution Strategies, Business Sustainability and Growth Simplified. You must evolve to meet the challenges of today's marketplace. This is the only show in the Philly metro area that walks you step by step through success factors that make or break your brand. Want some free advice? Call in Sundays at 1 p.m. to talk to your host, Carolyn Lighty, and a panel of experts for Evolution Strategies, Business Sustainability and Growth Simplified.
Well, good afternoon and welcome back to today's show. We're showcasing two wonderful businesses. We just had a delightful conversation, as I said before, with David Amakobe, got it, from Iharambe. And now we're transitioning to another wonderful startup. I think you're a startup, Morgan Cosmetics. We're sitting here with with a wonderful couple. We have with us El Bashir Abba and his wife Fatima of Morgan Cosmetics. Welcome to the show, both of you.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Before we even went on the air, you guys we've just been laughing in here. We've been having a great time. And I wanted to ask Bashir, how did you meet this lovely lady?
Actually, we met at work.
Mm-hmm.
That time she was working for, I think, Commerce Bank.
Okay.
So she was looking for a part-time job, and then we just meet. Actually, she was a wonderful lady. We went out.
You're both smiling.
You know,
It's so
and
cute. I
then,
wish we were on television.
Yeah, actually. We went out, and for a couple of months we got married. You know,
Wow. After a couple of months.
After a couple of months.
Love at
just-
first sight.
yeah.
Does that really exist?
It really does.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. When you know as a woman, you just
just
know.
know.
And
Yeah.
I knew right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're both smiles, so I guess it's still working. How long have you been married?
That
now?
would be 8 years.
8 years. Oh, well,
Yeah.
it's still working.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so fantastic. There's hope. Listen out there, everybody. There's hope. You can just find the right one. It'll be okay. So, Bashir, you came to this country from Morocco?
Originally from Morocco, yes. And came here for education, actually. So everybody, we heard about American U.S. education is one of the top education to go to. So came here to Golden Beacon College.
Okay.
The other way, two MBAs, one in international marketing,
Very good.
and then the other one in finance.
That's
So
very important.
I was planning to go back to my hometown and then finally end up, married with a beautiful lady here. So living dollar. So
That is so great.
yes.
So let's get your point of view. See, we hear from him. So in meeting, and then you decided. Obviously, at some point, you were still working.
Yeah.
And what about the entrepreneurial aspect of things? When did the bug bite you and tell you that you should be in your own business?
Sure. Well, I really took a lot of lead from my husband. I knew that he had a degree and that he just had a certain mentality about him. He never took no for an answer. He got over every single barrier despite all circumstances. And I just thought, I know my husband can do it. I mean, just his strength and his passion that he has for his company. Actually, I'm more laid back, more reserved, and he's not. And so I really didn't, not that I didn't think it would work. I knew with his passion it would, but I didn't jump on board until after. It took a while. I had to really kind of see it for myself. And then once I kind of saw it, I said, oh, this is going to be a nonstop
Fantastic.
train. Yeah.
So how long have you guys been in business?
It's almost 18 months so
18
far.
months.
Yes.
And tell us about the company and how it came about. You have a wonderful story about kind of almost discovering through your use of argan oil. Okay.
Yeah, so it was several years ago, back in probably 2005, 2006, where I had really suffered for eczema. It was all over my hands. It kept climbing up my arms. It was very painful. It would just bleed and crack, and I couldn't shake anybody's hand. I had even now I still cover my hands as kind of like I'm so used to it.
Yeah.
And it just wouldn't go away. I went to every single dermatologist I possibly could find. I went all the way to Philadelphia. I went to New York. I got injections. I tried cream. I tried pills. I mean, it just wasn't going away. I would just literally at night dump vinegar and just put my hand in there and just hope it would alleviate the pain, and nothing worked.
Wow.
we were planning a trip to go to Morocco to visit his family, visit my in-laws, and that's when he said, "You gotta try argan oil." I mean, this is something we use all the time. It's been around for thousands of years. This is something my ancestors use. It's gonna work. Just give it a chance. And I was really, really kind of thinking, there's no way. I was very optimistic. We went to Morocco. We had a great time. We bought some back, and within 3 days, it was cleared up, and 5 days it was completely gone.
Wow.
And it's never come back.
I
ever.
see now.
Yeah.
Your hands look fine.
Yeah, so that's when I
great.
knew we had something
Well,
special.
isn't it something how you suffer for so long, with a condition, different things. I remember one thing I suffered a long time with was back spasms.
Oh.
And it would feel fine with, chiropractic care sometimes, or with massage, but then it would always come back.
Yep.
And someone said you should get an inversion table, one of those tables where you lay on it and you hang upside down.
Right.
I did that for 2 weeks and it never came back. Well, I
Wow.
suffered with this for like 20, 30 years.
Right.
If I turned my body a certain way, I knew I was going to get this spasm. This took it away. So sometimes we kind of fall short of finding relief sometimes without just trying other things. And I think, as we talked before the show started, that there are so many folks in the pharmaceutical industry, in the scientific community, that are now incorporating a lot of these natural remedies that we've used for centuries into their products, because now they're discovering even some of the pharmaceuticals that are out there are synthetic versions of what we can get naturally in the various forests, especially in the rainforest. So it's no surprise to me that it actually worked for you. So tell us a little bit more about your company and the products.
Yeah, actually, we import. We have an women organization in Morocco. So who does the process like the traditional cold press way for the argan oil. So actually, the argan oil comes from the argan tree that based in part of Morocco and nowhere else in the world. And those trees actually cannot, plant them, just they rise by nature, and they live up to 250 years. Wow. And we get this oil directly from our organization, from women organization, helping them.
So tell me about that. So these are women that are in Morocco who. Now, they were doing this before you decided to use it, or are they doing this because of your company?
Because of us, our company.
So you've actually established an organization of women. Now, let me, and understanding the culture.
Yes.
Is it only women that do this?
Only women, actually. But what happened, we gave them a promise. So every product we sell in US, $1 goes to them to help them fight illiteracy, because we have women, like almost 80% of women in Morocco are illiterate. So now they're building some tables.
Because they were not allowed to?
No, it's just because, poverty or for different aspects. Now every woman, they try to go back to school, to buy some tables and bring in, teacher, and they teach them certain things, actually.
I love it.
And so it's more inspiring than, just business, actually.
That is great.
So
and see, those are the types of businesses that really do well.
Right.
Because it's not so much about the greed aspect, making money. I was talking to someone on the phone about this earlier today. If your heart is about helping others, then you're going to be fine.
Right, that's true.
And I think that that's one of the things that more of us need to think about. So now that we understand that individually, if our heart is in the right place and it's about helping others, then our business will thrive. But now those businesses that are like-minded need to join so that we can make a larger impact. I think
correct.
That's
but we
fantastic.
also were certified EcoCert certification, organic certified in Morocco in our facility. It's European certification. And now we are certified, USDA certified in our facility in here in Delaware, actually.
Very good.
So it's all, so we actually get the oil in bulk, and then we do all the packaging here in Newark, Delaware, actually.
Okay, so you have a facility in
Newark, Delaware, and then we
okay.
are USDA certified, actually. Yes,
Very
we just
good.
got it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You guys, and this has only been 18 months, did you say?
Yes.
Yeah.
And we also have now developed 2 more product lines, which is natural sulfate-free argan oil shampoo, which has so many natural ingredients that people would love. It even have non-parabens, no synthetic fragrances, nothing, just all natural. And it also has Bulgarian lavender, actually. People
We talked about Lavert before the show started.
Yes,
too.
yeah.
We're gonna have to get together.
Yeah, the shampoo was, and all the products that we created, the argan oil is our baby, that's our main focus, and then all of our products kind of branch from that. The shampoo, it took many months. We really had to determine the least amount of chemicals that we could add to it, and then, our ingredients are the best all over the world. We have oils from India, we have oils from Pakistan, we have oils from Bulgaria. I mean, they really are the best that we could possibly supply, because our focus is, whatever you put onto your body is absorbed. It takes 30 seconds.
That's right.
We know that people are paying attention to the organic food, but now it's time to pay attention to the organic cosmetics. Exactly, because anything that you can't eat, it's not safe for you.
That's great.
So.
That's wonderful. How can folks find your products? They're on. You can sell. You buy them online.
Yeah, you can. We absolutely have online shopping you can do at morgancosmetics.com. You can also go to a few selected Walgreens here in the Delaware area, and soon coming up in about a week or so, we'll be in ShopRite for the Delaware market. Yeah.
And so on your website, will they find the locations? You'll be putting that up on your website?
Yes, all of our locations, and also all the amazing benefits and, how many uses there are and how to use it. Tutorials are all listed on the website as well. It's a very, very intensive website because there's so many uses for argan oil.
And tell me about some of the benefits of argan oil. I mean, we know that for your eczema, that it just wiped that out.
Actually, back in history, it's like my and sisters, like grandmothers and stuff, used to use it for centuries, actually, for the stretch marks.
For stretch marks.
When they have babies, they use it, and after 3-5 days, the stretch marks goes.
I wish I had known about that. I
mean, I know.
My baby is 29 years old, so it's too late for my...
No, it's never too late.
It's good for, any kind of type skin problems, psoriasis, eczema, acne, stretch marks, wrinkles, all that. Now it's on the beauty side, it's good for the hair care, skin, it's a deep moisturizer for the skin. It absorbs very quick to your skin. It's good for cuticles as well. It's the number big, it makes... especially for women,
it's almost like I want to just immerse my body in this stuff.
And you can.
And come out a new person.
People use it for the bath oils. It also has a very high anti-age format about the argan oil, which really does help with the the rays of the sun, and they form free radicals, and this really does help restore the skin's hydrolipid layer that really does help remove the fine lines and the wrinkles. And then again, also for arthritis, if you have bad joints, it's an anti-inflammatory, and it works amazing with people with arthritis that are going through some pains. But again, it does have a lot of medicinal effects, but it does have so many other beauty effects. Really, it is a one-stop shop oil.
Wow.
So
that's fantastic. And I know an awful lot of these other major manufacturers are now starting to include argan oil in their product. So that obviously, not that you needed confirmation, but that shows that obviously they understand the benefits of it. But unfortunately, they still have all the chemicals as well. So they're almost, it's almost contradictory. Just to make it sound like it's better. And that's about the packaging and positioning, because the trends right now as it relates to consumer products is and the companies that sell them has to do with customer service, in heightening consumer experiences. And you're doing that with your how-tos and all the information that you're providing, because people are now much more health conscious. Anything that's natural, that's going to have a higher sell point, because people are really transitioning to that. So you're to be commended for that. Give folks away both an email, website and telephone number to reach you.
Sure, absolutely. You can always find our contact information on www.morgancosmetics.com. You can also
email us contact@morgancosmetics.com.
And you can always call. We're open 24/7. You can call anytime with questions.
866-315-3301.
That's 866-315-3301.
Correct.
So you told me that the name of the company came from What source?
Well, we were really having a tough time kind of establishing, a good name, and we were kind of like Moroccan Morgan, and Morgan happens to be the name of my mother, so she was extremely happy. She tells everybody all the time her proudest moment. But yeah, that's how the name got established, and then so.
So how are you going about marketing the products right now?
I mean, we really are really hands-on with our customers. We're really hands-on with retailers. We have no problem. Anywhere we've gone in and said, hey, we're local, we're in Newark, we love to service you. They always say yes. And we always get local vendors. But now we're at a point where we can manufacture around 10,000 bottles in about 3 weeks lead time. And we need to focus on the bigger market at hand. We need to go after, major retailers at this point, because we can supply it, and because we can offer such a great price to our customers as well as the retailers to give their customers as well.
So is that the next step, going after the major retail chains?
Yeah.
Have you considered also the QVCs, the home shopping networks?
There's a few.
There's a huge, and there is a huge the volumes that you have to provide there generally are what keeps most small businesses out of it, because they expect you to have so much inventory.
The good thing is that we are the main source, so we don't have any problems. Those ladies, they're gonna be so happy to process more oil. Actually, and be happy.
How many ladies are there?
It's like around 30 ladies so far,
ladies,
and everybody's happy, and we just.
And what about here at your facility here
Our
in Newark?
facility, we do have about 5 or 6 employees,
people.
and we're growing slowly but surely in this market.
Yes.
Very good.
In this marketplace.
Yeah.
So
Very cool.
But one of the biggest things that we were trying to do, why it took us kind of I consider a long time, is we had to make sure that we could supply enough. That was a major concern of ours, is to the bottling company and the packaging company, and make sure everybody's ready to go, and make sure that our packaging is beautiful. It's well thought out.
Yeah, and so far we're still online, and we ship to almost 48 states.
Yeah.
And most of our clients are in West Coast mostly, and New York City, and California, Georgia, and Florida.
What kind of volumes are you doing right now?
Oh, we ship about, I would say, anywhere from...
What are these?
Those are the seeds.
You guys can't see what I'm looking at, but they gave me a little care package, and these are seeds?
Yes.
This is the seeds.
Yeah,
This is the seeds that ladies have to crack with two stones to get that seed, and they grind it as cold press, so it gives all natural,
And that really is what separates us from a lot of other
they use
argan
the
oil.
stones,
I see,
to crack them up.
Right. Wow,
Yeah.
that's tedious.
If you heat it, you can generate more oil, but what separates us is no way. We're not going to tear down all the vitamins and the fatty acids in there.
So
no
the heating would take away a lot of the
and
useful
most
properties.
manufacturers, they heat it because it's just more more mass production. Exactly. It's more profitable.
So
we won't do that.
That's what sets you apart from all the other products out
Yes,
there.
it's all natural. They use the stone mills like all the traditional way, so they have like cold press, so the oil still reserves all 100%.
Wow. I can't wait
organic,
to use
so,
this.
yeah.
This is so fantastic. Age Rewind. How did you think?
Yes.
What were you thinking of me when you gave me that? Just playing. But this is fantastic. I love what you guys are doing. You have been so successful. Tell me about some of the challenges you had in getting started, though.
The challenges that we had, again, are, if we had a large order with our bottling company, we would call them and they say, oh, well, it's not available. Oh, well, the price has gone up. Oh, well, maybe 2 weeks. And we're like, come on, we told them 2 weeks.
I know.
So that was a lot of major problems that we found. And then also, we're not, I hate to say it, but we're not sales persons. We don't, we kind of have a business.
You sound like you could go in and get anyone to buy.
What really sets us apart is the passion that we have for the company. And we knew we want to help people not only with with skin problems. If you don't know somebody with eczema, maybe somebody else has psoriasis. Cradle cap, it's safe for babies. It does cracked feet, and there's so many benefits to this. So we knew, with my experience, we want to pay it forward, and we have to. The amount of pain I suffered through for so long, we have to have a product. We have to help people.
That is so fantastic. Give contact information again, how they can get in touch with you.
You can always go to the website.
Yeah, the website is morgancosmetics.com. And we are at the few selected Walgreens throughout Delaware, like Concord Pike, for example, 202.
Okay.
And we're going to be in ShopRite next week.
Is it
We're
going to be the
excited.
ones here, right here?
All six.
All
Yeah,
six
all
of them?
6. Yeah, all
Yeah.
Any
ShopRites
family
in
has
Delaware,
6 of them.
actually.
We will
Yeah.
be
yeah.
approaching New Jersey.
And then
Great.
and then with really reasonable price, it's half price of the
Yeah, our
retail
competitors, yeah.
competitors that
Mhm.
we're trying to help those women actually and launch the product and try because of the those ladies actually helping the women.
Is that part of your packaging and your message that you are actually that there is a social aspect to this?
Yeah,
Yes.
Because a lot of folks will buy if for that reason alone.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all of our website. It talks about the kind of the struggles of living in a third world country and illiteracy and poverty levels and how that making companies such as Morgan Cosmetics can really help focus on getting these ladies into classrooms, getting them independent, getting them to help support their families.
Yeah.
So-
This is fantastic. So I see I'm holding a direct mail piece.
Sure.
Was this actually mailed, or how did folks, in terms of your marketing, what else are you doing to market?
Well, this is actually a little bit older. We would, when we do get into one of our marketing strategies is when we do get into a retailer to assist with the the sales of our product, we would kind of mail out a direct marketing piece that would help the retailer and then help our product and let them know that we are at this location.
Okay.
So
it would be the zip code area around that location. You would send
Exactly.
out a mail piece.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we give
Understood.
we send out targeted residential areas. Give them some information about the oil because most people do not know about argan oil, and then they send more traffic actually to particular stores, for
And
example,
we-
such as Walgreens and
And these
those
are
are
all Walgreens stores?
Yes.
Is that- okay.
and we also we do demonstrations, so you might see me
Very good.
or my husband inside the stores.
That's great.
We're very, 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 very hands-on. No matter how big this company gets, we always want to be hands-on with
That's
our
very
customers.
good.
It's very
Very,
important to
very
us.
good. And let me just see how much time I have. Okay, we're still doing good. So as far as resources, financial resources, in terms of investing in your company, how did you get started? How did you do that?
It's been a tough roller coaster for sure.
yeah.
You were independently wealthy, so it was no big deal.
No,
Yeah,
no.
we started, from scratch,
scratch,
from
yeah.
design, our
Yeah.
logo, and step by step
Yeah.
packaging. It took us actually almost 6 months, just to package and
Yeah.
find the resources. But the challenge that we find is in packaging because we try to look for packaging companies in US, and then it's hard to get certain boxes to be printed in here. So we have to go to different especially
So you
to
went out
Country.
of the
country to package
Yeah.
certain just like little outer packaging boxes so you can get started. So
Yeah. And
that's-
a funny story is when we were looking for our bottles, we wanted to really be USA made. We were very, very proud of our country. So we had looked at China boxes and they were, the bottles, and they were very cheap. And then we looked
Yeah.
in here and they were a little bit more expensive. So we decided to go from, into the United States. And when we got them, the boxes said made in China. So, just acting
funny.
as a third party, really.
That is really funny. Well, it sounds to me that you guys have done a phenomenal job, and I commend you for sticking with it. I commend you for your wonderful marriage and still smiling after 8
Thank you
years.
so much.
And I also want to see, if there's anything that I can do to actually help you guys further.
Absolutely, we appreciate it.
Your parting remarks as it relates to giving advice, and I'm going to ask you also, David, to get on the mic after they give their parting advice to any small business owner out there or startup, or someone just thinks they have an idea. What would you advise them? How would you advise them?
you have to do patience, and you have to have there's consistency in business to
Very good.
succeed. It's not people starts, for example, big company starts from a garage and then starts all the way from the bottom up. So you cannot, not every business entrepreneur starts from zero and then next day got
They got the
you have to, there's some challenges that you have to what's most important is efforts and consistency.
Your efforts
actually.
and consistency.
Yeah, and
Okay,
I would have to
Fatima?
say that have a passion for what you do so that it drives you and it motivates you. And also, you have to want success more than you want to breathe. You have to really want it in order to really be successful.
And David, what advice do you give to our listening audience if they're trying to go into their own business?
My thank you very much. My advice would be that getting into business should be trying to solve a problem for people, for society. If you get into business because you're going to make money, you'll be very disappointed.
Yes.
You need to be solving a problem, and you need to know the problem, and you need to know because if you are solving a problem, most of the people know the problem and they are willing to pay for it. So,
a solution. Yeah.
If you have a solution for a problem, then you have a business.
Yes.
If you don't know the problem, and you don't have the solution, then you are not in business. And then after that, the perseverance of so that when you are educating the recipients, it will take time. So you need to persevere. So you need to persevere and be persistent, and then you will be successful.
Fantastic. Thank you guys so much for being on today's show. That does it for us until next week. I'm Carolyn Lighty. You can reach me